Example of Hebron, it works in other places as well. And they ask, what your name is, where you're from, that kind of thing. You saw that down the street, and then you have a conversation. They say, well, I had this thing happen to me, I had that thing that happened to me, and then you get together, you meet over a cup of coffee, and you get consent, and you take out a tape recorder, and all the people who interview, we're all ex-combat, so we all know the deal, and we all know the jargon. We're not, we know how to. We're pretty trained in that field, and what we do is we just collect stories and we publish them. So in that way, we're just like a media agency.
Stories like in print, or
stories in print. So up until today, we've talked around 500 soldiers. Let me tell you, when you come in as a soldier, you don't give 3 years, 4 years in my case of service. It's not one story. That's at least 15. So we've got thousands of stories of soldiers. Every single unit which has served in the territories, we've had at least one person come and speak with us from the most elite. Now, what is a story? What is a story? What constitutes a story? Basically, gut instinct for us, what makes us feel bad. So it's not necessarily international human rights, but it can be anywhere from looting, which happens daily at checkpoints, small looting, such as cigarettes or masbachot, those prayer beads, that kind of thing, happens every day. All over the place, or destruction of property, abuse of civilians, but just also explaining day-to-day things. And then, the deeper you dig, the harder the stories. So now we're already talking about stories of murder, of quite a bit, actually. Either by order,
what?
Murder. Stories of murder.
What do you mean?
Well, this is what we found out. Since it's found out, this is common knowledge if you're inside, but sort of, if you're not inside, you're not in the loop, so you don't know about the beginning of Second Intifada. But not only. So 2000, the Intifada starts. Israeli military understands that it's going to be a very dynamic, war, and it's not worth it to write the rules of engagement. Rules of engagement is a little booklet you get when you're in the military that tells you when you're allowed to fire and when you're not allowed to fire. But Israel never wrote those down. Israeli military from 2000 to 2006, and the orders were actually given orally. So in many cases, completely illegal by Israeli law. So, for example, we would get ordered. My unit got ordered to kill anybody who's out in the street from 8 at night till 6 in the morning. Or a popular order, for example, all over the Second Intifada.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were given orders to kill anyone out in the street? You mean in this area?
No, well, this was in Nablus, but it was given in Jenin, and the time was a time when you have either full curfew or semi-curfew. Curfew means that Palestinians aren't allowed to be outside of their house at all, other than 2 hours once every